All right, so today you are going to be continuing the final review with chapter 6. So you have numbers 5 through 10 on this page, and it continues over to 11 through 14. So these are the ones that you're going to be working on independently here in a bit. Keep in mind that chapter 9 we went over last class. So you should be able to solve all 4 of these. If you haven't done so already, you should probably try to do that. And then for some of you, I forgot to mention this top corner. So here you can write which ones you are able to solve, so which ones you feel most confident in, and then which ones you need to study for. That way, as you look back on this worksheet, you can focus on the ones that you need to study on. And for the final, you can just go straight to that and know where to reference it. All right, so I'm going to do one problem like this, and then one problem like these, then move on to one problem like this and one problem like this. So there's a total of, like this and like this. There's a total of 4 problems that I'm going to do, and these are different numbers than this, so I'm not actually working on these. I'm leaving these 10 problems for you to do and practice on your own. And like always, the answers are provided for you, so you can go back and check your work however you need. So for that first part, numbers 5 and 6, it's going to look something like this. We want to solve the equation and round your answer to the nearest 10,000, so 2 decimal places, and that's the way it's going to be on your test. And then the second purple one, I just don't want to go back to this, is going to be like this one here, where you would use the change of base formula. So that's this. Purple is these first 2. Okay, so for the first one, 10 to the power of b plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 79. We know that we want to solve for this b right here, so we need to get rid of everything else. The only thing we can do right now is get rid of this 4. So I'm going to drop my equal sign just to keep things lined up. Get rid of the 4, so since it's addition, I'm going to subtract, which cancels this out. This simplifies my equation a bit to 10b plus 2 is equal to 79 minus 4 is 75. So now that I have this, my variable, the one I'm trying to solve for, is an exponent. So in order to be able to solve for it, I need to be able to bring that down. If you guys think back to when we did logs and exponentials, we did a lot of practice on rewriting. So going from exponential to log, and we called it our little whale when we did like this. Remember the little smiley face there? That's the order in which we're going to write things. So here we need log, and we start here. So log base 10 of 75 is equal to the entire exponent, which is b plus 2. Now we want to get the v by itself, so now I'm going to move the 2 over to the other side, and I get log base 10 of 75 minus 2 is equal to v. When you plug that into your calculator, you do log. Remember that the 10 is the automatic base. If you don't see it, it's because it's a 10. So that's easy. And then we do 75, close my parenthesis, minus 2. So I'm plugging this part in right here. Hit enter, and I am left with b is equal to negative 0.12. And that is my answer. A few things to remember about this one is that, just side notes over here, if you don't see the base, then it equals log 10. So the 10 can or it doesn't have to be there. It's just automatic. It's like an exponent. When you see an x, you know it has an exponent of 1. Another thing is, say for example, we have like e to the x plus 1 is equal to 7. The e, you would still do this, right? But the e would go with natural log. It doesn't go with log. So you would do ln e 7 is x plus 1. And again, ln e is equal to just regular ln. That'll help you when plugging it into the calculator. It's just the base. So the e and the ln, and then the 10 and the log. So just keep these in mind. It'll be really, really helpful when plugging it into the calculator. All right, let's go back to the next one. Change of base formula. You know that this is going to be a change of base because the calculator has the log without the 10 there. So this has a 4, and those are not the same. So you need to change the base to a 10 so that you can use your calculator. Change of base formula is pretty straightforward. You're going to do the log of the big number over the log of the smaller number. So this is just going to look like log of 18 over log of 4. Now, when you do the change of base formula, you can pick whatever base you want that looks like a base. It should not be a base. That's a big one. So why not use the 10 so that you can use your calculator? So you're just going to do log of 18 divided by log of 4, which equals 2.08. Everything for this test will be 2 decimal places. So again, change of base formula, you take the big one, and then you take the smaller one, like that. I rewrote that. In my sloppiness, I made it look like a base. It's not a base, it's the whole number. So it's that big number, just like 18. Change of base, and then this is isolating and solving for the variable. Both of which you can just plug into a calculator. So I know this looks really complicated. You're just plugging it into the calculator. So those have to do with this right here. So you'll do that like for numbers 5 and 6, and then you'll do that for number 7 through 10. Next up is expanding and condensing. So let me zoom out so you can see what I'm talking about. Expanding and condensing is this part here. So all you have to do is use the properties to either expand it, so go from here to here, or condense it, go from here to here. So again, you notice these are different examples. I'm going to start with this one. This one is condensed, and we want to expand. This is going back to the properties of logs and the properties of exponents. So when you are solving these, when you have division, it actually means subtraction. So similarly, if you were to have multiplication, that means addition. So if the operation that's happening is division, you're going to turn it into a subtraction to expand it. If the operation that's happening is multiplication, then you're going to turn it into addition. And the last one that really, really matters is if it has an exponent, a power, it's going to turn into multiplication, which we see here we do have an exponent. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of that fraction. So I want to expand it. Division turns into subtraction. So I keep my log and the base the same. And I'm going to separate this, x to the power of 6. I'm separating it with a subtraction. That division just turned into a subtraction problem. So I did that part. Now I still have my exponents, and that means I need to multiply. All I'm doing is taking this exponent and bringing it out front like this. So this turns into 6 log 9x minus 4 log 9y. And that's it. I'm I'm highlighting that so you know where to focus. So I went from something small to something big. Now I'm going to do this bigger one into something that looks a little bit like that. If you notice here, instead of being combined by division, multiplication, or exponents, you're now combining this whole thing by addition, subtraction, and multiplication. You have addition here, combining all three things, but then you also have that 4 that is multiplying. So eventually I'm going to turn this 4, just like I did right here, is going to turn into an exponent for the W. So I'm just going to rewrite that part first. Plus, so that turns into an exponent to the power of 4. Now, since each one of these things is being combined by addition, that means each one of these things are actually being multiplied by each other. So I'm going to keep one log because everything else will be grouped together by multiplication. So I'm going to put my 4. I'm going to bring my V. And then I'm going to do W to the power of 4. And that's it. This right here is the most important part. So just know that these things go both ways. If you have subtraction, you can rewrite it as division. If you have addition, rewrite it as multiplication. And if you have multiplication, you rewrite it as an exponent. So they go both ways. What you are going to do now, with or without the sub, is you are going to work on the chapter 6 portion of your final review. You are going to do numbers 5 through number 14, and you can use this video to guide you through that. You also have all the other videos that I've done on this lesson. I did a couple really long ones because that's when you had the sub. But you just work through those 10, make sure that you are able to solve those on your own. And if you can't, go ahead and use this so that when we come back on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever we see each other again, you know which questions to ask me. Whatever you have in the I need to study section is probably something that you should ask me about when we come back. All right? Be good, be great, be beautiful. Have a great weekend. And yeah, that's it. Bye.